Hello, everybody, and welcome to a patch analysis video where we will be doing this every 2 weeks. My name is SUNSfan. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear, there's going to be a patch every 2 weeks, so get used to this face. TrentPax is with me. How's it going, big boy?
Oh, I'm readjusting. So if I yawn, I apologize, everyone. I'm trying to fix myself back onto a normal sleep schedule after many travels.
Yes, congratulations on the major that you attended.
It was a minor.
The minor
Everyone
that you
keeps
attended.
telling me congratulations on my major. It was a minor.
You've
and
been to
everyone
another
says,
minor
wow,
before.
I can't believe Trent finally made it to a minor. I'm like, yeah, that was my third minor. I had that interaction like 40 times.
Yeah, I think the reason is because not Facebook. Facebook's another thing. ESL, everything just feels like a major when they do it because it's the same production value, right?
They did an excellent job. I mean, 16 teams, all the best teams. It definitely felt like a major, but it was pretty funny.
All right, so everybody's been clamoring for the battle pass. It's not quite out yet, but we do have some spring cleaning, which we shall be going over now. So here's what we changed, in case you don't know. The redesigning of the player profile. Have you gotten a chance to check that out yet?
Hell yeah. Mine's all swagged up.
You actually have a use for loading screens now. It'll be your background. So that's good. So that's cool. A little bit of custom ability there. Some gameplay changelog notifications. That is super cool. I haven't got a chance to actually test this out, but in theory, you play a hero for the first time since he's been changed, and it'll have a little notification that something has been changed, which I think is great. Something that's definitely needed because a lot of new players, they don't keep track of this stuff, right?
No, I've definitely just gone to a game. Like, when I think a lot of us, at least, most people I would say who watch these videos and who watch competitive esports are, of course, pretty familiar with the Reddit community. And so everyone's all plugged in there. But then there's this whole other community of Dota, the vast majority that does not go on forums, you know? They don't do any of this shit. So they don't really know when an update's coming. They just open Dota and play. And sometimes you get in a game with these people, and they just buy items, and you're just like, dude,
where's the Iron Talent?
Anymore.
Where's the Iron Talent? I don't understand.
Yeah, what's happened? Where's my poor man's shield? What the fuck? Something's bugged.
Yeah,
and something poor man's shield.
So a lot of these changes are actually from Reddit.
True.
Which, if you have a long memory like me, then you'll notice a lot of these are directly Reddit suggestions, which, that's fine if they're good suggestions.
They were good suggestions.
So the next thing is the last hit trainer. I haven't had a chance to test this out yet, but it's kind of like opening a practice game and just last hitting. It has like a score thing. You can do it while you queue, which is probably the biggest deal. But the thing I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, when you go to the Learn tab, I think it's in the Learn tab, right, for last hit trainer?
Yeah, it is. There's tiers. You get last hits and denies to raise your score, 100 points per last hit, 50 per deny. Each round lasts 3 minutes, and there's a bronze, silver, gold, and diamond tier.
Ooh.
Oh.
So if you've noticed, though, I can't show it right now, but if you go in game, the Learn tab, the picture of last hit trainers on the top left, and there's 4 empty boxes, right?
Yes.
Will those be mini games as well?
Will they be Battle Pass?
No.
No.
Okay, that could be part of Battle Pass. That's true.
I don't know.
It's potentially possible. So we'll see if they end up doing some more stuff like that. But that's a very cool start. Definitely needed, especially for the pros that just get sick of waiting in these hour-long queues. At least they have something to do.
Yeah. 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah. Improved buyback notifications. Okay. Don't think there's much to talk about there. Live Pro Circuit Tournament tab has been something I've been wanting for a long time.
Yeah,
when a minor or a major is live, it shows on the front page, and it doesn't just go to Dota TV, it goes to the actual stream. So
talk about being a week late on that one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if can they do that for Facebook? I don't think so.
I don't know.
It just links to Facebook, and I don't know. Sorry, I keep scratching my nose. I have a cat hair like stuck on my nose. I can't get it off. I don't understand. But anyway, this will actually increase viewership. I don't know by how much, but like if this was during Captain's Draft, that would have been huge. Like I could see 20K people in addition to what we had, which is great for like sponsorships and stuff like that.
Yeah, again, it's all about that whole community of trying to pull those people in who aren't as plugged into forums and everything.
I have personal friends, very good friends that play more Dota than me, so thousands of hours, and they still don't know that I'm associated with They don't even know what Captain's Draft is. They're personal, very good friends of mine. It's actually shocking, but people are like that.
No fucking clue, eh?
Strategy phase item pooling. All right, it's cool. You can give tangos and wards to people during the strategy phase instead of the very beginning. Save some time. Team teleports. It's funny. This was on Reddit yesterday. Do you think they added it in one day? Yeah.
No,
I've never seen it before that. So you hold Alt during the game, and you can see the TPs for everybody and what the cooldowns are.
So this, in combination with the strategy phase item pooling and the improved buyback notifications, I love all three of those additions. Those are like so amazing. Oh god,
Agreed.
It feels so good, especially the pooling. I've been wanting that for a long time. As a almost always position 5 player.
Yeah, I have no experience
with this. Means that I can
one.
run to my lane as fast as possible now.
Yeah. You don't have to wait. Like, hey, come back! I got a ward for you. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
pretty
really
cool.
irritating.
All right, this one. You can tell a little story about this. You were telling me beforehand.
Yes.
6-month matchmaking bans.
Yeah. If you guys were paying attention to the subreddit when this first dropped, some people got hit instantaneously. And there were many a salty posts complaining about how they weren't warned and they had no idea. And I was only doing it because of this terrible matchmaking I had with Russians. And it's not fair because now you finally have language-based matchmaking, but now I was already really mean. So I'm banned.
Yeah.
But,
and what did they find about those players?
Oh, yeah, everyone just started going through their open Dota, and they were all assholes. I mean, who would have thought? Like, they're just like AFK, Shadow Amulet gamers, and they're trying to blame it on their teammates. Like, they're all terrible people.
Right.
I am a little concerned, I will say. I'm sure that Valve has put in safeguards to ensure this will not screw up people. There has to be some sort of review system. I would feel really bad if there were false positives in a situation like this.
Yeah.
Like, especially, as much as I loathe them, techies players are definitely big prone to this. They get reported like every game, win or lose, you know.
Yeah, there needs to be some safeguards or some way to maybe...
like a tribunal review or some shit.
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it does. And Valve's not good at that.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, was it called... I think it was called... Was it Overwatch?
Overwatch in CSGO,
in
right?
CSGO, yeah.
Yeah.
Just rely on the community to do that. Maybe something like that in the future. I'm not sure. But I'm excited. Now there's actually, like, what was the longest ban from before? Like 3 days? I don't even know. A week, maybe?
They started just putting in booster bans and account sharing bans for months at a time. But, yeah, in terms of, like, communication and behavior stuff, it wasn't that far at all.
This is for both ranked. This is just matchmaking in general, right?
Yeah, you're just
That's
done.
how I take it.
You're out of there.
You just got to get a new account at that point.
Yeah.
Next thing, language-based matchmaking. I thought it was supposed to be like this before.
Well, remember we had a test run, and I remember that test run, and it was pretty amazing. It was just English all the time, but then they took it back.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
That's the only reason. Queue time's long. You don't have to worry about that anymore with the last hit trainer.
That's right. Now it's fine.
Maybe that's why they put this back in. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. It's kind of how you feel about this one. So.
Okay. Redeliver courier items. Good teammates help ensure the courier always gets where it needs to go. And with the new hero delivery icons that appear on the courier interface when it's carrying someone else's items, it's easier than ever to be a good teammate. I don't even understand what this means.
So if you look at the little picture that's there, it has the razor behind the meepo. Before, it would just have the courier face behind the meepo. So it didn't show like the collection of items that was on there. It would just be like, okay, it's going to this person, and I don't know, it's just a little bit more detailed. I don't think it's going to solve a lot, to be honest. I think we're still going to have all the same problems. But
I mean, I don't think the courier issues are that big right now, though, at least compared to what they used to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Custom game arcade revamp. We'll be talking about this a bit more when some of the changelog things come out, or when we talk about them.
Right.
But good to see some love for the custom game arcade.
Custom
game.
They got everything. Everyone has dedicated servers.
Yeah.
There's matchmaking penalties. There's a bunch of things they can turn on that were mentioned later on. They have a lot of different options now. They advanced stuff for scripts and everything to help improve. So it looks like Valve is definitely making amends with a lot of those custom game changes.
Yeah, I think the dedicated server thing is pretty big. So CHP, it's still a project we're working on.
Right.
But we don't have dedicated servers for it. So if somebody's hosting and they're connection goes out. This has happened a couple times where the game just crashes for everybody, which is kind of ridiculous. And I think at the end of the day, it probably doesn't add that much work on the servers for Valve, because most people are playing the custom games that already had dedicated servers.
Yes.
So I think adding for the rest is probably a very small minority, I would think, of games actually being played. So not a big deal. And of course, you can do your own custom game matchmaking panel, which is kind of an option for custom game creators as well. So, like you said, pretty cool. Minimap neutral difficulty icon. How does this work? Do you have to put your cursor on it or something?
Oh, if you just look at the triangles, if it has 2 triangles, it's a medium camp. 1 triangle is an easy camp, or a small camp, and then 3 triangles is a hard camp. It's a really minor detail.
It's great.
Although I'll be honest, sometimes I still say the wrong thing, even though I know what it is. So it's kind of nice to just, I don't know, just has it there. Now I won't sound as dumb when I cast sometimes.
This next one I have a question about. So ready check. So obviously checking if your party's ready to go. I'm guessing this doesn't replace accepting a queue, does it?
I do not think so.
I feel like it should. You ready up beforehand, then I can go get something from the fridge and not have to worry about missing my queue if it started. I think this should replace it.
I mean, I don't find that, like, how often does that even happen, though, when you're playing in a party and someone actually messes up? I feel like we already do, like, a ready check.
Yeah, it's true. It doesn't really change that
what would the harm be, honestly, if they did make it? So
active friend filter, so you can activate this, and whoever's played Dota recently will show up on your list. Everybody else is filtered out. Why can't they just add the typing in filters of names? Like, I've been waiting for this feature forever. Just allow me to be able to type in people's names and have them show up. It's like I have to go through a list of like 300 people every time. And yeah, this helps a bit, I guess, but I don't know. It's kind of meh.
That is a good point.
I feel like that is super easy to implement. Super easy. But I have to keep waiting for that one. Color-coded teleport. So this is back again, I guess.
This took way too long to come back. Yeah. I have missed this so much.
I actually have not cared at all.
Oh, dude, there are some games. There's some games I'm casting, and I can't tell what hero it is. Honestly.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Like,
because it does use the cosmetics.
Trees, and there's like a Luna and some other hero in the game, like Luna and any other like mounted hero. It can be so confusing.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's completely indiscernible. So I'm very glad that the colors are back.
All right, and then the last thing, visual tower damage is back. It was broken.
It's back.
It's been fixed, but they're making it seem like it's a new feature that just came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in.
Always cool to see this stuff back in the game. Are you gonna test it out?
Yeah, I want to punch a tower.
Oh, apparently there's a bug. If a tower gets healed after it's taken the damage it doesn't change the model. It just stays broken looking, even if it's full HP again. Small bug, but it is.
All right, not a big deal.
Okay, moving on to user interface. Hero loadout pages now show what scepter upgrades that hero has. Okay, we're only going to go over the bolded stuff, guys, because a lot of this other stuff, it's just whatever. Talents can now show tooltips by pressing Alt. Anyone in a party can invite other players directly. I don't know if I like that. I kind of like it sometimes, but sometimes I don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
You should be able to turn that off.
Having control.
Yeah, what's the point of being party leader then?
All right, the effects are pretty cool. Just tested.
They're cool. They're not exactly the same as before,
guys. It looks pretty similar.
Okay. Commands can now provide a notification to the player that includes your name. Interesting. Runes can now be pinged via minimap. Ability icons now show a progress overlay for cast points once the button is pressed. I don't understand this one at all. Ability
it's
icons.
Like I was testing it out earlier. So like, let's say you're playing Dark Willow and she has Terrorized. And so the way Terrorized works is that you target an area. It's like her fear spell. And as you're charging it up, you can cancel any time, right? But once you complete that full little charge thing, then it shoots out, and then that's your cooldown used. While she's charging up now, there's like a little green countdown that appears on the skill. And so you can actually see how long you have until it activates.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Huh. Okay, I'll have to test that out. Buildings now show an effect when getting hit under backdoor protection. I don't know what the effect is, but that sounds cool.
Oh, all right, cool.
Added spectating view for scan and glyph. What does that mean?
Oh, you know how what Layerth does? Have you seen where Layerth splits it so it's red and green on one half of the... It's literally that.
Oh, okay.
So thanks, Pim.
Thanks, Layerth.
Great work, Buka. Excellent job, guys.
Fixed various disconnection issues that affect custom games. It's actually identical?
Yeah, it's 100% identical.
That's crazy. Usually they change it a bit, but all right.
That's exactly the same.
Improve input latency for low-end machines. Unit tooltip now shows status, resistance, and lifetime, and recent stats are no longer shown to non-friends. Okay, and you guys can read this stuff later. A lot of minor stuff. If you go on to gameplay, walking into shop range now clears backpack item move cooldowns. I was really annoyed with this. Like,
it's an interesting change.
If I'm getting close to the shop, right?
Yeah.
I can switch. Like, let's say I'm in range of the shop already. I can switch them. No problem.
No penalty. Yeah.
But if I did it right before I entered the shop area, it would fuck it up. And I'm sitting there for 5 seconds, even though I'm right next to a shop. So
yeah,
pretty much clears all that up, which is nice. I don't see a problem with that at all. I think it's just a quality of life improvement, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Should be fine.
Lincoln Sphere providing 5 HP instead of displayed 5.5. Okay. Soul Catcher talent reducing cool. Okay, these are... Which one's actually important? I didn't know homing missile took 1 extra hit than intended. How did nobody notice that?
That's kind of funny, eh? There's a lot of really random bugs here. Where it's just like, oh, that was happening, you know? Things I'd never heard of. And I hear about most bugs, I would think.
Improved visual effect accuracy for shrapnel. I'm assuming that means sometimes it looked like you were out of the range but you're still getting hit.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
It was always pretty bad. Okay. Doesn't really matter. All this stuff fixes. All right. And on to 7.08 general changes. Wards now require constant 2 hits to kill both Observer and Sentry. What do you think?
Great change. Support player here. Love it. Thanks. Makes
you,
so if you're playing
you can't
some
miss uphill
support,
anymore, right?
No, you can't miss uphill either.
They changed that 3 years ago. I'm just double checking. I don't play Swords.
It was quite a while ago.
Okay. Tier 1 tower armor aura increased from 1 to 2. I didn't even know it was 1. I thought it was more than 1. But I guess not.
Just 1 for the tier 1s. So slight buff to like melee laners, especially off laners, people who are like maybe close to the tower, melee mid laners if they're closer to their tower, that kind of stuff. Just a little bit of extra armor.
Bounty
handy.
Base XP reduced from 25 to 0. I think that just means
should have just been 0 before, honestly.
So So some people are going to read this and think that it doesn't give you XP anymore, but it does. It just doesn't start with that base 25, right?
Yeah.
The increase
and they
is
used
what
to start with a lot. Remember, you used to like try and give both to your mid laner so they'd be level 2 or whatever, and then they nerfed that down, and now they're just fully removing it at the very beginning of the game.
Which I guess hurts the roamers probably more than anything, I would think. The position 4s.
Yeah, that's
it's not really that big of a change, though. But.
Yeah.
Bounty runes. As a result, gold growth increased from 2 a minute to 4 a minute. So more gold for everybody that picks those up. Yeah, that's true.
Because his multiplies too. So
we're going to see some more buffs for him later, I think.
Oh,
too.
Fuck yeah.
Roshan now has a 25% status resistance. Okay. All pick drafting time reduced by 5 seconds. All right. Item changes. Eon disc. Eon. Health threshold reduced from 80 to 70.
Love it.
It needs to go lower.
I agree.
What if you could choose what threshold you wanted when you bought it?
Whoa. What if there was like a slider somehow on the item that you could move?
That's next patch, guaranteed. I don't know. What number do you think would this end up at?
Whoa. What if it's an active and it's like a Baden's ult and you just hit it whenever and it can strong dispel through anything?
That's way too OP. Then Abaddon's ult is like really shit. If you can buy, what if he can just buy both items then? You have a double ult.
You have 2 ults. Yeah, that would be really broken. But I agree. I feel like it should be lower. It just gets popped so easily. But I don't know. Maybe someone besides just Brewmaster will buy this item now.
Yeah,
but I doubt it.
I think this needs to go down to like 50.
I can tell you an Eon Disc story.
Sure.
When we were in SEA playing pubs, I was playing with Odie Pixel. This game actually I was watching Odie Pixel and Fog play, and he went Eon Disc first on Slark because when you have the effect going, you still steal stats. It was not very successful.
That is horrible.
It was quite funny. He was doing it for the meme value, and the meme value was definitely there.
Jesus. All right.
What a lad. All right.
Battle Fury. Creep bonus damage reduced by 10%, and creep bonus no longer works with illusions. Okay? Everybody's buying Battle Fury.
PL Battle Fury.
I don't think this really changes that much. Like, if people are buying Battle Fury on literally every hero, which right now, like Arteezy is, for example, I don't think this deters him at all.
I think it'll take away from terrible. I think he even tweeted goodbye TB Battle Fury, and then PL. I think you might stop buying on him too. That's what I would say because the illusions.
I thought it meant
right?
Okay. I thought it meant it no longer works when you're hitting illusions. It means when you are an illusion, the creep bonus doesn't. Okay, but it still cleaves, right? Slightly,
yeah, but not for like the bonus or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd have to see this in game to see how much difference that makes. That's the bigger change though, for sure. Okay, BKB cooldown is now just 70 at all levels.
Really interesting. I would say these are the.
Oh, I unplugged myself. Uh-oh. What did I do? Hello?
I hear you now.
Okay. They probably could hear you as well, but these headphones, they were... Ooh, I don't know if I'm going on a tangent here. They were suggested by Knoxville. These are the worst headphones I've ever had in my life. Holy fucking shit. They unplug all the time. Sick and tired of it. All right, talk about BKB.
Okay, so BKB, I've been noticing lately, like Batrider was one of the heroes where people seem to be using their BKB like every single engagement, like even when it didn't seem that great because the shorter time on the BKB was actually more valuable for certain heroes than the longer duration. Like, if you think about Batrider, you just want to make sure that BKB's up every single time you have lasso.
Yeah.
So you kind of like spam it early on. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting interaction. But then the 70 seconds total. So I guess that hurts people like Shadow Fiend, who when it got down to 5 seconds with 55-second cooldown and his 40% cooldown reduction, the hero just had like BKB the entire late game, which was really frustrating.
But
overall,
kills 2 birds with 1 stone, kind of.
Yeah, it's just a simplicity change, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's great. It means 10-second BKB is inarguably better than 5-second BKB, no matter what.
Yep.
Okay, Blink Dagger cooldown increased by 2.
Big deal.
All right. That is
Makes
a big
you hesitate a bit more if you're like going to an engagement. Can I blink now? Do I just run and then save my blink when I get there? Do I have enough time? I would say 2 seconds is pretty huge. 12 seconds already feels kind of long with a BK or with a blink sometimes, you know?
I mean, we're talking about possibly the best item in the entire game, I want to say. Which is fine. I think it's fine that it's overpowered, and things like this can still be tweaked. So.
Yep.
Enchanted Mango, Mana Restore. After they saw Captain's Draft, that trophy, they're like, we got to buff this bad boy. Extra 25 mana. Wow. Can't believe it.
And then direct Miracle buff, the Fairy Fire heal goes up 10 HP.
Gracious.
He buys like 3 Fairy Fires every single game. If you guys watch Miracle, it's pretty comical. He just tries to outplay people in his lane. He'll like fairy in Fairy Fires. No one else does that.
How long's the cooldown between each Fairy Fire? Do you know?
3 seconds off the top of my head, but I'm not sure.
So it's longer than you can't do it like within a second, right?
No,
I'm not a big Fairy Fire
buyer. I'll double check.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
While you double check, Force Staff time it takes for the full distance to be traveled now increased by 0.1, so slightly longer.
It's 5 seconds.
5, damn. Okay, that's pretty long actually. Hurricane Pike, kind of the same change, but also the cooldown increased by 5. What is the cooldown for Force Staff? Is it match Force Staff now?
Cooldown increased from 18 to 23, eh?
Yeah, look up Force Staff.
I will.
That's my... Well, actually, it would say put up to parity with Force Staff if that were the case, but...
I would have guessed Force Staff was... yeah, it is 23, so it's even.
All right. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. So it's not... I feel like sometimes on a melee hero, you pick up Hurricane Pike anyway, just because of that cooldown. Like now it's not as big of a draw. You just get the stats and that's it. Meteor Hammer, cooldown reduced from 40 to 28. Please.
Actually an item now. It's actually good. That's every creep wave. That's...
I'm not saying you're wrong.
We're under
the
30-second limit.
I don't think there's ever been an item where I hate the idea of this entire... We're doing a video, Slacks.
Oh.
Damn you.
What's up?
We're a patch analysis,
We're recording a video right now.
Is it a cool video?
No.
It is now.
You've come to ruin another Dota Cinnamon video.
What are we doing?
Do you want to join us?
Yeah, can I be in it?
Sure. Open up the. You're not gonna have a webcam though. I don't want to set that crap up.
Okay.
Open up the patch notes, bro. We're on Meteor Hammer, your favorite item.
All right, bye.
All right,
Okay,
see ya.
Nah, just kidding. What's up? I was just playing 3 matches with Meteor Hammer. Look, guys, you think it's good? Nah, it's still not good.
No?
It's still really bad.
All right, let me see the heroes you played here. Disruptor,
Treant, right?
Treant, and Zeus.
Treant
Wow.
is the only one that makes sense to buy that on, I think.
Well,
What?
Disruptor, you get the cage, and then you drop the hammer on him. But
Yeah, that's true. I tested that.
I guess
It's
so.
okay.
it's not okay. It's real bad.
I just wish this item wasn't in the game. I don't care how good it becomes. Maybe it becomes a tier 1 item. I still don't like it, you know?
I tested every hero in Dota today. Or like I went through the
Wow.
full list and I looked at everything to think about what you can do with Meteor Hammer. It was a pretty enjoyable afternoon. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the lobby for a long time.
Wow. I'm
Yeah.
hearing
Glex
lonely
would
boy.
be so proud of you.
Yeah, I know. I was going through it all. Obviously the Naga thing, like that hero was probably the best hero with Meteor Hammer right now, and now it's just better. So Naga Siren can farm very quickly at a position 4 at this point. Tree and Protector, it's a little bit better. I always felt really bad, like roaming around the map, and 40-second cooldown Meteor Hammer was really long. And this is already quite a bit better. Elder Titan is pretty sweet with the sleep and everything too, man. Damn, you can do so much damage with the Spirit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
AA with the shorter cooldown as well. If you can like actually get in a team fight, oh my god, with the Ice Vortex, Meteor Hammer
I
does
would
a
feel
stupid amount of damage.
I would feel better about this item if it didn't work on buildings.
Really?
I don't like
That's
the
the whole
idea.
point.
I don't like the idea of buying an item to take down buildings.
Dude, you need this item more than anything. I've played Dota with you. Going
I'm
high
not saying
ground
I
is the
can't find
biggest
use of it.
issue.
Again, I'm not saying it's not good in some cases. I don't know. I'm gonna have to brainwash myself to like this item because it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. All right, moving on. Soul Ring recipe
DLC.
increased by 15.
No!
All right. Spirit Vessel recipe cost increased by. So this one was needed, 150. This item is way too good. I feel like
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
very strong.
And
What
people
item?
pick it up really
Soul
fast.
Ring?
Spirit Vessel.
So is Soul Ring. It's also too good.
Yeah.
It only went up 15 gold anyway. It's not a big
Well,
deal.
but Soul Ring
It's a big deal.
you can't combine it into anything anymore. So I think that's fine.
Yeah.
It's an item you just have to sell, right?
Yeah, but it's like stupidly good on every strength hero right now.
As it should be. Strength heroes are what make this game fun.
Yeah, but it's
just
like
remember.
a little too OP.
Okay.
But anyway.
Hero changes. Alchemist. Chemical Rage base attack time improved at the level 1 and 2. Level 10 talent increased from -5 unstable concoction to -8.
That's a 4-second downtime now.
Level 15 talent increased from 350 health to 400, and level 20 talent increased from 360 unstable concoction to 400. So concoction somehow is getting more buffs. It's actually really strong already. It was strong already.
Dude, he's trying to bring back support Alk. That has to be what's happening.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
the only thing I see.
Are we going to see more jungle Alks, Slacks?
But whoa, hold on. Now you can charge your stun, throw it on someone, charge up the Meteor Hammer during the stun. It hits them to chain the stun, and you can have 2 seconds charge on your concoction before they can move
Oh,
again.
no.
Just so you know, guys.
Please.
It
no
is
more.
excellent.
No more.
Highly recommend.
Although I would like
Continue.
to see Alchemist again. So more
What?
buffs the merrier. I love Alchemist. Ags
Who
hero.
says that?
He gives Ags to people. What's not to love?
Listen, I don't understand why they didn't buff the jungle Alk. I don't understand that.
I know. You're a baby.
I do.
My baby
all right,
boy?
I had a poll on my Twitter a few weeks
Really?
ago about if you miss jungling in Dota. There were, I don't know how many thousand people voted. It was a few thousand people voted. 50-50. It was a tie. What do you guys think? I kind of I
forget
understand
how I voted on that.
I understand some people like the low level games. You pick Legion Commander, you're just worthless, and I understand. I miss going in the jungle with Axe, being that guy that ganks at level 3. I really miss that stuff. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I miss like Enigma and like farming really quickly and then going to a lane and shoving it, or like Venomancer, you farm up really fast and go help a lane and push it into a tower, stuff like that.
Or if you're off lane, you're just getting absolutely destroyed, which happens all the time now. You have some other means of getting money. We can hear everything you're doing, Slacks. Jesus.
What? Excuse me. Hello?
God.
What's
Welcome.
going on?
All right, next hero, Ember Spirit. Sleight of Fist hero damage increased by 20 at level 4. okay. They want to bring back the. I mean,
Yeah.
aren't most people doing physical damage Ember now, or am I crazy? Is that just my pubs?
I mean, it's whatever. It's just a 5 damage per level buff. It's mega random. The hero's just not being
He's just
picked
reminding
right now.
people that this hero still exists or something.
That's
Where's
pretty
Centaur
much what
buff?
happened.
That's what I want to see. When I saw Alchemist into Ember, I'm like, they missed C's. There's no C heroes. Enchantress, base damage reduced by 3. This hero, it feels like...
How does that help? Is that a big deal?
What,
I
base
mean-
damage reduced by 3?
She's good because she's quick and she's unkillable.
It reduces her level 1 though. Like her level 1 is really annoying. And she could just invest. She could invest in move speed items and still have a decent damage for last sitting. Going down by 3 is kind of a deal, right? Because like you can't trade with her anyway because she has untouchable really early on. So the less damage she has, the more it hurts her early laning. But you're right. Overall, this will not have a large impact on how obnoxious she is to play against.
I would have been fine with a reduction of 20. I would have been fine with that. This hero is super annoying to play against.
Yeah.
Okay, Jakiro reduced attack backswing by 0.2.
Whoa!
Pretty big deal.
Does that include on his liquid fire, or does that count as an attack backswing? Or is that just a cast animation? It's probably just a cast animation.
I would guess, but now you have me curious.
But yeah, anything that lowers attack backswing, turn speed, and cast animation, anything like that makes it more Han-like, I'm for. Hero
Wow,
feels
he attacks
super
so
clunky.
much faster.
Is it that much faster?
Well, I mean, it used to be so slow.
Yeah. Now it's in the realm of an average
lowers
hero.
the liquid fire.
Because you can toggle liquid fire just be an auto attack, right?
Yeah, it definitely comes out faster than it used to. That makes
Okay.
sense. The skill used to take forever. Yeah, 100% comes out faster. In my brief testing here, that is way faster.
Juggernaut, Blade Dance damage reduced by 20%. That is a skill that I want to say has not been changed for 4+ years, maybe.
It definitely feels like it.
I don't remember
Chris
ever
has
seeing a
never
change
been
on
an
this.
issue.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting change. Leshrac Split Earth mana cost reduced.
Hi, this hero still exists.
Yeah, that's another one of those. This one's interesting. So Lena, base intelligence increased by 3, base damage random varies reduced by 18, min max damage spread to 12. So instead of saying, hey, we reduced it, instead of showing the windows, they just said this is the they made it. I feel like for most people they won't understand this the first time they read it.
Yeah, I would agree. It took me the second read to be like, oh, why? Because they always say it the other way. They just list the 2 damages.
Yeah, because back in Dota 1, it showed the actual range of the attack. Wait, does it still do that?
It still does if you hover over the attack.
Yeah, if you have to hover over it, though. So I think I would actually say most people don't know that the damage is a range at all.
Yeah, I would agree. But right now, she's 46 to 58 now.
Okay.
Which is still one of the wider spreads. I remember PL has he always had one of the wider ones as well. Because he's supposed to be like random. Yeah, he goes from 51 to 73. My God, what an annoying hero to last sit with. 22 gap.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting.
And then Chaos Knight has a really big one too, right? Obviously, because he's like a random hero. He goes from 51 to 81. He's a spread of 30.
Jesus, that's got to be the biggest, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. It fits his lore, obviously.
The lore.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Great lore.
Random.
Can we verify with the lore expert that fits the lore,
Yes.
please? Okay, thank
The
you.
lore is fat. It is fat. It is good.
Good.
All right,
Lion,
excellent.
mana
I mean,
drain.
look at Wraith King. Like, he goes 61 to 63. That's so funny how there's
That's
some
my
heroes
boy.
that
That's because he's awesome. He's consistent.
44 to 46.
You know?
Yeah, there's
All
All right, this one is, I find this to be huge. Mana drain now slows the target by up to 20% at level 4.
That's huge.
Okay, do you know why this
Sounds
got added?
big.
It's
Why
because
that?
people were doing a build where you don't even get mana drain.
Really?
I'm pretty sure this is why he changed this, because most of the pro games, there's no point of getting mana drain, because you want to buy arcane boots, because your level 10 talent is a cast range already, so you get plus 75. So you buy arcanes, so then by the time you're like level 12, you can afford Aether Lens, and then you have Aether Lens plus the 75 cast range talent, and you can just cast everything from so far away.
All right. Huh.
And building your way up there with the arcanes obviously means you don't need mana drain.
Does
early
this change it?
on. Let me see. So level 1, you get 20 mana per second and a 14% slow. I'm not going to change it. I'm still going to do that build.
Well, at least once you have to level it, it's pretty cool to have a 20% slow.
I don't really get it though, because like I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Like how often it definitely does happen in team fights where you start draining some guy. So I guess at least now you have something else to cast after you used Earth Spike and Hex. But it's not a big deal in my opinion.
Okay, we'll see.
I think you'll still see the hero picked more though because he was already really strong and Shadow Shaman just got nerfed. So Lion is now going to be in way more competitive games.
Spoilers.
All right, Lycan shapeshift cooldown increased by 10 at level 1 and 20 at level 3. That is a pretty sizable nerf, I want to say. Base armor also reduced by 1. This means you have to get that talent. Well, I don't remember what the other choice is on that talent that lowers the cooldown of, or not lowers it, but extends shapeshift, right?
Oh,
pretty much
for Lycan?
have to get that, yeah.
It is, I will look at it right now.
Because now he's going to feel a little bit more like Dragon Knight. He's going to have Dragon Knight-itis.
16% Feral Impulse.
Okay. Yeah, you go for shapeshift, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. He's just too strong in that form. Medusa. This was interesting. So Medusa Mystic Snake cast range reduced by 100. I feel like he probably needed more. Medusa level 10 talent increased from 12% to 15% evasion. The other talent for 15 increased from 15% Mystic Snake Mana Steal to 20%, as if it wasn't enough already. And level 20 talent reduced from 800 mana to 700. Like, that's still a lot of mana.
Yeah, I was surprised it only went to 700, honestly. But I guess they feel like that was her most important talent and power spike, and so removing that a little bit off of that, they want to make up for it in other ways.
I guess so. I mean, a lot of these changes, it's hard to really tell just by reading. You'd have to see a few games at the very least. But I would say she's still very strong, so. We'll
I don't know.
Oh.
Not as strong as she was before, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Less teams picking her and everything.
Think about it, though, you know?
Mm-hmm. I keep waiting for you to say something.
Yeah,
but it doesn't go beyond the fluff, the usual fluff.
Oh, boy, you know? Really think about it, guys.
Okay. I will. Morphling, morph cast range increased by 400. The mana cost also reduced to 50, and the morph replicate cast point is removed. So it's an instantaneous, it's 1,000 range, costs only 50 mana. It was probably an underutilized skill for Morphling, I want to say.
It'll still only get cast like 4 times a game.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with
insane level 1.
Yeah, but I think it's more about people
unreal?
just aren't used to use. I don't know.
It's
tough
160 seconds level 1, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why would I ever skill this point when I have things like Waveform and Adaptive Strike and Attribute Shift? The last thing I need is that ultimate that I can use once every 3 minutes.
It could be game-breaking, though. It could be. You could turn into Alchemist and get a bounty rune, which was just buffed.
It just buffs support or offlane Morphling to me, but I don't think it's good enough yet to see real play.
It's too bad because that's the coolest part of Morphling is his ult now.
Yeah.
But they're playing him like the old Morph minus replicate. Over time, we will see some changes, I'm sure, because I think that ult creates a lot of hype moments, or has potential to, so they'll end up buffing that again. Nature's Prophet, Wrath of Nature cooldown reduced. Okay. All right, now we have the Omni Knight expert here. Omni Knight, Degen Aura range reduced by 25 and Purification cast range reduced by 50. Thoughts?
Horrific for Omni Knight. Those are two things. The entire point of a hero now that Repel's been nerfed to shit. Oh, it's so bad. He ain't good no more. I mean, Aether Lens is like a literal requirement now. It's real bad, boys.
Does he have a cast range talent as well, or no?
Think so?
He does not.
He used to.
He has a 75 Purification AoE to help make up for this at level 10, but you might want the 90 GPM too.
Yeah.
Real rough stuff, boys.
That's a shame.
Real rough stuff.
It's already like, when he has early levels in Degen Aura, a lot of heroes with boots can still get outside of the Degen Aura just like after he right clicks. So now with it being reduced even further, it's really awkward.
Yeah.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
It's
verdict.
Awful times
awful
for my boys.
Oracle Fortunes and mana cost reduced. Okay, who cares? Pangolier. I was expecting more nerfs. I'm happy not to see them. Rolling Thunder cooldown increased pretty dramatically. I think it was definitely needed though. It was way too low. You can cast it twice in a fight sometimes. I mean, I spam this hero, so I know most.
So dumb.
And the level 25 talent is the minus the cooldown reduction on Rolling Thunder. I never got that, ever. Probably still won't. The Swashbuckle having a 3-second cooldown, whatever it is, pretty ridiculous. But at least you've had to think about it now. So, do you think this is enough of a nerf? I know a lot of people have been thinking this hero is completely OP.
Not
It
quite
helps.
enough. I don't think. Still very strong.
Okay. Pudge, Rot Slow, rescaled.
Oh, thank you. Ice
So
Frog.
20% at level 1, but it is higher at level 4 if you can get it up there.
Yeah, but everyone wants the max hook. Screw this hero. Hate Pudge. Arcana's going to come out soon anyway. You guys will be very happy he got nerfed, even if you like playing this hero, because you're not going to get him every game anyway.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
he
Yeah.
will be in every single game.
He already is.
Well,
Isn't he
yeah,
the
he's
highest
gonna be
picked
in
hero
every single
still?
game.
He's always
Yeah,
top
he's-
3. Always top 3 at the very least.
He must
For
be
every
most picked
patch.
right now, because his win rate's so high.
Right, you investigate while we talk about Pugna. Level 15 talent increase from +1 Nether Ward health to +2. That I think that's actually a pretty sizable buff to that talent. And life drain damage increased to the point where it matches Aghanim Scepter. You just don't get the cooldown reduction, or the cooldown removal, I should say.
That's crazy. I can't wait to play more Pugna. Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's a
currently
lot
at
of damage.
44.51% pick rate.
Damn.
And he's
Can you
still
check
at a
Pugna's,
53.5% win rate.
Check Pugna's level 15 talent. That's not the Nether Ward health.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
to
because
get
now
some
it's like
comparison.
he got +2 or something now instead, right? Instead of
Yeah.
+1.
There's
The
other
level
one, the
50,
Nether
other
Blast.
15 talent is the -1 second Nether Blast cooldown.
You probably still go that. I think most
Yeah.
people still go that. But
Yeah.
+2 Nether Ward health's pretty freaking good.
Honestly, people
Shadow-
shouldn't be able to kill your Nether Ward anyway, so.
Yeah. That's I guess pretty true. Put in the trees. Hard to do
or
anything.
decrep it.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend Necromastery Max Soul is reduced dramatically at level 1.
How to
By
nerf
6.
SF Clockwork without removing Killing Souls.
That doesn't help.
Yes, it does, because now he can only get up to 12 level 1 instead of the 15 that you can get by easily doing it.
Oh, could you get 15 in the
Yeah,
base?
you could easily get up to 15. You can get up to
Oh, okay.
18 too if you did it. If you just waited longer.
I mean, it's
and
still
did- by
pretty
doing it.
ridiculous. They could have just said you can't do that because Clockwork Cogs don't have souls, but you know.
Yeah, but the hero was also just strong.
Yeah, the hero is
anyway.
very strong right now, for sure. Shadow Shaman, Ether Shock cooldown increased dramatically.
No.
And Shackle's total damage reduced dramatically at the early levels. They want you to max this out. Or something.
Pretty big deal, obviously. You could pretty much always get off both of them, and it just did so much damage early on. Now you might need a higher damage hero with you. Like a Jug or something to guarantee a kill in lane.
Mhm.
Whereas he could enable even shit laners to get kills before, just because the shackles did so much damage.
Right.
Like
Okay.
that level 1 value point was just dumb. Level 1, 120 damage. That's so good.
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing that over the past few years, getting rid of these value level 1 talent or skills.
Yeah, making
Where you don't
like
need to
commit.
touch them the rest of the game. Yeah. Tinker, base movement speed reduced by 15.
Good nerf. Easier to gank in the mid lane to slow down his snowball, but does not impact his mid to late game. So don't expect your Tinkers and Pubs to be any easier to play against because no one's going to gank him mid anyway.
No.
Tiny toss cooldown increased by 3. Okay. Does that match Avalanche now? That's getting close.
No, Avalanche is 17.
Okay. Not close, but closer.
But yeah, now you can't do like 2 tosses in 1 Av or whatever in like a sequence. But
The hero is completely OP when you get the 3 charges. That is so
well,
game
he's
breaking.
pretty OP right now in general. I'm surprised this is the only nerf he got, honestly.
Yeah. Tusk Snowball can no longer be cast while rooted. Okay.
That's a good nerf.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could do that while rooted, because being rooted,
Yeah.
you basically can't do anything anymore, it feels like. Skill related, at least.
You know,
And
I
last
learned
but not
some
least,
stuff. Well,
what's
hold on.
that?
I learned some things about Snowball recently that I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
You cannot pull in allies from Lasso, Chronosphere, or Black Hole. However, attempting to pull them in from Chronosphere or Black Hole will add their hero damage to the Snowball. Huh.
Oh.
Wait, you can't say that again about lasso? You can't save somebody from lasso?
You cannot save someone from lasso with snowball.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. Black hole makes sense. What was the other one?
Chronosphere.
Yeah, those two make sense. Lasso
Do
doesn't
they
make
though?
sense.
I don't know. I guess they kind of make sense, but I was surprised.
They're otherworldly.
Yeah.
Lasso's a fucking flaming lasso. Like, that should be
true.
snowballable.
Pretty intense.
Otherworldly.
Oh.
The lore reveals the truth.
Yes.
Thank God
we need
Slacks.
lore on snowball, please.
The snow, it's a ball of snow.
Okay.
That
Thanks
is
for
the
watching, everyone.
lore.
Did you see the targeting icon that now appears from Snowball as well? That was one of the small changes. It puts like a big snowball again. Thank you, Reddit.
Yeah,
puts a
thank
big
you, Reddit.
snowball over the target. The tusk is targeted.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
All right. Last but not least, I want the Wind Ranger expert to give us some insight onto this one. Wind Run mana cost reduced by 10. Level 20 talent changed from 1 shackle shot target to plus 0.5 second shackle duration.
That one's sick.
And level 25 talent from 30% mini stun focus fire to 35.
I prefer the cooldown talent compared to the mini stun. So I don't know. I mean, they're both good. They're both okay.
What is
but
the
this one, at
cooldown?
least now
What
I
is the
might
cooldown
change
one?
the mini stun. 30%. So like with BKB and stuff, it can be very strong.
Yeah.
And the plus 1 shackle shot target was one of the worst talents in the entire game.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was so situational. It never worked. Plus 0.5
That's
second
I think the problem is it never
way
worked.
better.
That's the problem. Like, you could go
Yeah.
into a practice game and line 3 people up, and sometimes it wouldn't shackle them. So, yeah, I agree.
And Wind Run,
much better.
that's pretty good. 60 to 50. It's all right.
All right, Slacks, verdict?
Oh wow! Surprisingly, that hero is still shit. It's, surprise everybody. Still Garbo. Can you believe it?
Who are the heroes you hate? Dazzle, Windrunner, and Wyvern.
Rubik.
And Rubik. God, Jesus. Good lord.
I mean,
Do you
Rubik's
still hate
better
Wyvern
now.
and Rubik?
Nah, Wyvern's had her time.
Okay. At least you admit it. Yeah, I think Windrunner's still
Wyvern's, you
garbage.
know.
I kind of agree with you on this hero.
Still
Yeah,
garbage.
Wind Ranger's still bad. I
Just
watched
Alright.
a few people trying to play her today.
That is the patch, friends. That is
Whoa!
7.08. We will be getting, I guess, 7.09 in 2 weeks. Is that how they're doing it?
Yes, sir. We're about to hit 20.2 pretty soon.
Yeah, I guess so.
Trust me.
So what did you guys think of this patch?
All right, I'm just counting right now. It was 23 heroes changed. Do you think there will be more or less heroes changed next patch?
Ooh.
The same.
That he's just gonna do 23. As my
It's gonna
hero,
be
the lucky
exactly
23
23.
this week.
I actually think that they had a big patch planned, but they cut it in, let's say, a quarter, 25%. And they'll be releasing it over 4 patches.
Just to do what? Just to stretch it out? You think?
I
it's
don't
just
know
for...
why. I'm not saying I understand why.
I don't know why.
I'm just saying that is what's happening. They will have exactly 23 heroes next time as well.
I mean, I feel like this is. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was gonna say my thoughts on this whole idea of attempting this 2 weeks thing is it feels like Ice Frog feels happy with what he's done to Dota over the past like 3 years. Because before, obviously, we've had these massive changes and everything is different. And if you remember years ago, it always used to be like heroes came in and heroes went out. But over the past year, it's been more like heroes were being pulled towards a center and everyone's just kind of there. You know what I mean? Like, no one, like, we've drastically increased the variety of heroes that are picked in tournament matches now. It never used to be this crazy. Like, now you can just pick anyone and no one's going to flame you. You know what I mean? Except for maybe Wind Ranger. But
yeah,
I feel like Ice Frog likes that. And so he's now at a point where he kind of wants this to be stable. And it almost feels like, to me at least, it could be a hint of him possibly even considering stepping away from Dota. Is that possible? Like, is that... If he's really starting to wean these down and putting the game into a more balanced state and smaller changes, not drastically altering it, is he thinking about a handoff? Is he moving on to other things? I mean,
I hope
drama
not.
speculation, but that's what it feels like
Ice
to
Frog,
me.
wherever you go, I'll follow you. Just remember, you can make Dota 8. I don't care about 3 through 7. Make Dota 8, I will follow you.
balance artifact, Ice Frog, please.
Yes, balance artifact. So I mean that. I guess it's possible. I don't know. We don't have any inside knowledge on that, unfortunately.
No.
But
I mean, I don't want to say as far as he's abandoning Dota, but to me, it just feels like he seems content, right? That he wants to keep this pattern going, and he wants to find a way to stabilize that rather than to continue with these massive updates.
Yeah, but how do you know that some of them won't be massive updates?
Why? Because he says smaller patches every 2 weeks. Isn't that exactly what the tweet
what
says?
What if they add up into a massive patch? Isn't it the same thing? Like, let's say you have one massive patch in a 3-month span, but instead you break it up into 2-week increments.
But what happens is things are going to change during those 2 weeks, right? Like something's going to be broken, and then you have to suddenly address that. You can't like gather all the data at once and plump something down.
Right, but I think it's more digestible if you do it this way, though, right?
Here's my theory, right? Dota Pro, it's all about the Dota Pro circuit. It's freaking boring when there's a tournament every week and the patch gets changed every 3 months. It's literally boring to watch. So I think because of the frequency of Dota tournaments, they had to take whatever heroes are super popular in the meta. They had to change it just so that it's less boring. That's my theory. So I think it has nothing to do with Ice Frog. I think Valve was like, listen, nobody wants to watch Dota because it's fucking boring. We have to make sure that meta heroes aren't picked.
Players innovate a fuck ton anyway. Lycan wasn't even being picked, and there was a very small tweak that brought him in. It was like Helm got buffed a tiny bit. And like Medusa fell out of favor with hardly any changes.
It's like, boring, Trent.
Teams adapt.
If I had a choice, I would say I would rather the patches.
Is boring, Trent.
I would rather the patches come out once a month instead of twice a month.
Yeah,
but
that's just because you haven't experienced the bliss yet.
Well, this is actually what I think, though. I think you both have good points, and they're all possibilities. But I think that if you're trying to cater to newer people that maybe aren't into competitive Dota or aren't into Dota at all, when you have these massive patches, they turn a lot of people away, including people that have played Dota, because they don't want to reinvest all this time to just relearn everything. I think it's going to be the same amount of stuff changed, but just spread out over a bunch of patches. That's what I think. I think it's more digestible for the average user.
One of the most important things to consider is what Valve said at the player meeting this year was that they wanted more heroes, right? They want to bring out more than 1 or 2 heroes a year. They want to start upping that number.
Yeah.
And so more frequent patches should help to address that situation.
Next TI, 10 heroes!
I don't think they're coming out at the same time, but...
before
we go, how many heroes do you think that they're going to be coming out with on an annual basis?
I would guess 4 to 5, maybe.
4 to 5?
Dream. Obviously, they haven't released any more since TI, so we're not really on pace for that. But I imagine when they said that statement, maybe that's what they were thinking. Would be 4 heroes a year.
Yeah, I was thinking 1 every 2 months. So it ends up being
10
6.
Heroes at a time.
Dude, that would be dank. Remember how
awesome.
Gave you all those small updates once every 2 weeks? Well, here you go, nerds.
It'll be like Overwatch. Impossible to balance. Keep adding heroes to balance it. Don't tweak the numbers. Just add more heroes.
Do they just add heroes into the competitive play as well right away for Overwatch?
I don't think so. Actually, Overwatch is now, they just did a big patch where they nerfed the shit out of Mercy. And they're still playing the Overwatch League on the previous patch, although the pubs are on the new patch, which I thought was kind of interesting. That's another good point about the competitive series. Are they going to have older versions? If we're going to be patching every Thursday,
I think
Thursdays are tournament days.
Yeah, I think they have to.
So we have to have an option to play on past versions. I noticed they put a back end in. It said in the small notes of the patch so that they could disable heroes that have broken things during a tournament, but you would think it would be better just to let people play on the stable ones.
Yeah, I agree.
So this
and
was
I expect Dark Willow and
Thursday.
Pango to probably be in CM next patch in 2 weeks.
Ooh!
That's what I think.
About
At
the
most
other
4 weeks.
Heroes they're adding?
Oh, I don't know. Those will be in till TI, I think. I think Dark Willow could use a small nerf, but I guess they seem like they're fine with her. I don't think she's super OP.
Oh my god, she didn't get touched, did she?
No, she did not get touched. I still think her ulti being shown and not having to cast it is pretty... I think that's one of the most OP things about her. Because that skill itself is ridiculously good.
Oh, yeah. You have to like play around it.
Yeah, so sure. I think that needs to be changed. But other than that, I think she's pretty balanced. And Pangolier, I'm pretty biased since I spam the hero all the time. I did think that the ulti was pretty OP in terms of the cooldown, so that's been fixed. I think they're pretty balanced. I think I'm ready. Anywho, thanks for watching this patch analysis video. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another one. Slacks, Trent.
Yay!
Well, first, Slacks, thanks for
Thanks for
coming
inviting
in,
me,
you know?
guys. I love being part of Dota Cinnamon and,
I'm glad.
getting invited to stuff. Thank you.
Trent, congratulations on your first major. Again, if you guys want to follow him, it's at TrentPax on Twitter. Any final words, friends?
When does Techies get in the game? Does anyone know?
Oh, that's true.
Never.
That's another way to talk about. I hope never. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.